It's now been more than a year since we tragically and unexpectedly lost the guitarist of All That Remains, Oliver Herbert, who was found deceased behind his home in a puddle, very low amount of water. The passing has been unexplained and is currently under investigation by law enforcement in the area. There have been people who have been highly critical of Oliver's wife, who has posted some bizarre statements on social media after the passing, claiming that they had a cause of death. She said that a toxicology report showed that there were antidepressants and sleep aids in his system at the time of his passing, and she later deleted that post. And according to a report from the Hartford Courant, law enforcement have dubbed the passing suspicious and are currently investigating. Now we have a new report out from the Hartford Courant that updates on the status of the investigation and interesting new details, including the fact that allegedly a will for Oliver Herbert was signed under bizarre or suspicious circumstances, according to this report, just 1 week before Oli Herbert passed away, which does seem a little eyebrow raising and sort of suspicious in my opinion. The report also claims that she's embroiled in a legal dispute with All That Remains over unpaid royalties that she says she's entitled to, because obviously her husband was a founding member of the band. The report added, in a 3-page letter filed to probate court and sent through to the 3 surviving members of All That Remains, the heavy metal band from Springfield that Oliver Herbert helped form, Westport attorney Robert Allen Schwartz writes that the band has refused to turn over financial information that his client needs to file an inventory of her husband's estate in the court. The letter also suggests that the band owes her money, particularly from a European tour. Elizabeth Herbert hasn't submitted a full inventory of her husband's assets to the North Central Connecticut Probate Court. In an initial filing last January, she estimated her estate was worth more than $70,000, not including property. Again, this interesting quote from this new report from the Hartford Courant says that, but while the investigation has languished Elizabeth Herbert, the sole beneficiary named in her husband's will, signed under unusual circumstances a week before he died, has settled a foreclosure case against the couple's Satowski Road home, allowing her to keep it. It's interesting the way they worded that. I'd love to hear more about how it was unusually signed or what those circumstances were. But when somebody has a will signed a week before they pass away and they're not in the process with some terminal illness, it is definitely strange. We're going to keep following this. We know law enforcement are working hard on this, and shout out to the Hartford Courant for keeping a spotlight on this very important story, as metalheads around the world are still wondering what happened to Oli Herbert, and we send our thoughts and prayers out to his bandmates and, of course, those who loved him dear. Anyways, thanks so much for joining us here today at Rockfeed. If you're new here, you could subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking hard rock and heavy metal news. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you all very soon.